this is going to hurt. My name is Matt Fraser. I'm a Londoner. I was born in London. I live there now. My hands are because my mum took thalidomide. And I spend my time performing as an actor, as a sideshow artist, as a cabaret guy, as a burlesquer, all those kind of things. I've managed to turn what was originally maybe seemed as negative into the positive thing about my life.
It wasn't that Matt had short arms that attracted me to him, as it was his face. He had a hand dealt to him by God that he just is gonna live life to the fullest anyway.
Well, by the time I was 17, I was pretty unruly. I wasn't true to myself. I hadn't really accepted my own disability. I was kind of in denial. We could go on for hours about why. I just say it was society. It generally doesn't want you to deal with that. But I dealt with it. I dealt with it later in life. And it was only really then that I was able to access my own attractiveness. And people suddenly started saying, oh, you're quite a good-looking guy, or whatever. But they never used to say that before. I was happy with myself. For me, the word freak is a very complicated word. I think I've reclaimed it. I think initially it probably was a very negative thing. I mean, if you look at the actual structure of the word, it just means outlandishly different, rare, and all those things. And I am. I think I'm beautiful, and I like my difference. To me, freak is just somebody who's different, who performs their difference. I get a little pissed, frankly, at the way the media treats different people, because if we could have control over our own imagery, everything would be very different. I think it's terrible for young people to grow up in a world where they have to aspire to looking like some model when, you know, just take a look at the model, not the person individual. I'm not having a go at them, but the airbrushing and all the perfecting and the falsifying that goes on. I mean, how is that useful or helpful to any of us? I just don't get it. It's something I have to kick against my whole life, because under those definitions, I'm one ugly mofo, you know, and I don't feel ugly. I feel like an okay guy.
Put him through the ringer. We covered him in mud. We covered him in all kinds of stuff. I had chickens here, ponies, and we had a great day. I don't think we laughed so much any one day.
After my amputation, and I don't even like to use the word amputation because I hate labels. Not that I hate being called an amputee, I just hate labels. Like suddenly when I was in the hospital, I was an amputee or a patient who had these legs that were no longer legs, they were called stumps. And like, am I a tree? Am I suddenly like part of a tree? I'm no longer a human, I have stumps and I'm an amputee. So anyways, I hate labels, I hate being called stuff. So after I lost my legs, people did look at me completely differently.
Amy Purdy came to Funny Farm via a post that we had out at a modeling agency looking for a double amputee. I had an idea in my head. I wanted to go build legs for somebody that were spikes. And I wanted to put them in a situation that they could never be in. And I wanted to capture that emotion. Impossible to really live a life like that. How do you exist? You don't fit into society. Everything's too sharp.
When Nikki asked me to do this project, I was absolutely all for it because I love challenging people's ideas of beauty and what they think is beautiful. There's a whole level of beauty that I think some people have more of that comes from the inside.
It was this amazing moment where she was kind of leaning back, and we dropped the harness a little bit, and she kept leaning back, and at one point she was sitting down mid-air with her legs crossed, very feminine, and her arm was down, and she was sort of looking off majestically, and her hair was just sticking out spiky. She has a beautiful face, beautiful body, and it was like the one picture.
You flip through magazines, you see these beautiful women with these perfect bodies and beautiful hair and beautiful legs and gorgeous outfits, and it makes you think that that's how you're supposed to be. And if you're not that, then you're not beautiful, or you're not, I don't know, important somehow. And I knew that this was going to be a powerful photo shoot, and I knew that this was going to kind of challenge people and have people think about this person in this photo. If anything, I've gone on to do more than most people who have legs, and I've been able to experience more than most people who've had legs. And I absolutely have this life of experience and stories that I always wanted to have to be able to tell my kids. And I think I've seen life in a completely different way than I ever would have seen it if this didn't happen to me.
The hardest part about shooting Amy was that she wouldn't stop smiling. She was so happy and so grateful. It's such an inspiration.
I've been waiting for someone like you.